Good evening. Writing a 4-minute speech to celebrate Tom Cruise's 45-year career is what is known in this town as Mission Impossible. So Tom is mean. I'm an honor and delight, but you owe me one, my friend. So the only possible thing I can do is to share a story. 25 years ago, I was still a first-time director, and I began hearing that Tom Cruise, yes, Tom Cruise, had seen my first film, Amores Perros, and was screening it at his home every week, inviting friends to watch it. And I was astonished, and I assumed the stories were exaggerated. Then the film received an Oscar nomination, and I still had not met him. In fact, I didn't meet him until 12 years later when I crossed paths with him on a stage at Paramount. And when I introduced myself to thank him for his selfless generosity, he shook my hand firmly, looked straight into my eyes with those laser-sharp retinas, and with relentless precision, speed, and intensity, he described scene by scene every performance, line, edit, and camera angle he loved of the film. He knew more about my film than I ever did. Many of you in this room may have probably had a similar moment with Tom. It's very impressive. And 25 years later, having shooting a film with him for several months in London, it's even more remarkable because I know it's real. Tom is fully present. He sees you. He hears you. He connects every single moment. Because he knows films aren't built on ego. They are built on eye contact. His enthusiasm is contagious. And for a pessimistic person like me, I didn't know, actually, what to do with so much sunshine and so much confidence. I was like uncomfortable. But I was spoiled and I got used to it, and I doubt I will ever find someone like him, to tell you the truth. People often describe Tom Cruise in the language of force or grandiosity. Big stunts, big box office, big legend, big long career, all true. But tonight, based on my experience, I want to measure him in millimeters. Because what's truly defined Tom Cruise is not how far he runs or how high he jumps. It's how precisely he decides to move. Those tiny calibrations, the tilt of a chin, the half-breath before a sprint, the millimeter between silence and revelation, every breath, every eyebrow, every grin, half cocky, half terrified, the shoulder, his hand, the hip, the pause, the diction, the intention on every word, every flicker of thought in his eyes, every rhythm of movement. That's where his real and invisible craftsmanship lives. On his face resides the language of emotions. His smile is its sword. His artistry is built on micro decisions, and all of it is carefully engineered as his most dangerous stunt. I personally witnessed the process. We spent months rehearsing every detail for a complicated sequence. His character has plenty of fast dialogue and demanded emotional shifts, physical transitions, and changing gears from satire to madness with intricate blocking with a crowd of extras. It requires surgical precision. And just in the fourth take, what I witnessed, what we all witnessed that day, was unreal. You remember. He was meticulously choreographed, yet feel completely improvised. Structure like a clockwork, but flowing like jazz. And I got goosebumps. That night, while trying to understand how he was able to do that, I realized that the big difference between him and anybody else is that he's used to performing under extreme pressure where every move, every millimeter can mean life or death. And honestly, that kind of intensity doesn't stop when the camera do. One day we were eating Mexican food and I saw him pull off the most dangerous stunt of all. This man ate more chile than any Mexican alive. He ate raw green serranos like they were popcorns. The dangerous chiles habaneros as cherries, one after another. I, a proud Mexican, I was crying with one just bite of it. And this guy was looking at me and saying, it's refreshing, it's refreshing. It's crazy. Even Guillermo del Toro doesn't need so much, anyway. And that's something to say. So I call him Tomas Cruz. He's a Mexican, I know that. He just doesn't say it because ICE is out there, so be careful. One story that he told me has an image that still fascinates me. After finishing Taps in 1981, his first film directed by Harold Becker, Sean Penn invited him to stay at his mother's house in Los Angeles. That one night, the two of them, both 21 years old, drove from Malibu to Hollywood and parked outside Jack Nicholson's home. These two kids brought down the windows and started to smoke a cigarette while dreaming and imagining what it will feel like to be him. Can you imagine? Sean said. And Tom replied, I can. 10 years later, Tom was inside the same Jack Nicholson house, reading lines for A Few Good Men with him, and got the part. Even he knew his lines of Jack, and Jack was saying, okay, kid, I got what you are saying to me, when he was forgetting a line. Every frame of his life says, perfection is in luck. It's karma. Karma in Sanskrit is popularly understood as meaning fate, something preordained for each one of us and out of our control. Karma, however, it's the opposite, literally means action. Karma is not destiny, it's what we do. Our actions shape our experience. Tom became master of his fate by becoming the master of his own actions. For me, some of those emotional stunts he does are far scarier because exposing yourself without a net is the most dangerous thing of all. In Born of the 4th of July, directed by Oliver Stone, Tom surrendered every trace of vanity, playing Paralyzed and showing us that courage doesn't always look like flight. Sometimes it looks like stillness. In Eyes Wide Shut with Stanley Kubrick, he dove fearlessly into ambiguity and restraint, performing in the grammar of silence. In Paul Thomas Anderson, Magnolia, he became a symphony of contradictions, control and collapse, cruelty and confession. When his character breaks down by his father's deathbed, there's no stunt, just mercy, showing us that the most courageous thing a man can do on camera is cry without permission. In Cameron's Crow, Jerry Maguire, he mastered the subtext. When he shouts, show me the money, his soul is screaming, show me the meaning, show me the connection. And I won't talk about the last crazy, hilarious Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder because Ben Stiller told me there are too many studio executives in the room tonight, so I will not go there. With Christopher McQuarrie, during the last decade, he turns risk into ritual. Every jump, every climb, every cockpit dive says to the audience, I have done the impossible, so you can believe in the possible again. He risked his life in every take, so the rest of us can risk caring again. He's never lost his sense of purpose because Tom Cruise doesn't just make movies, he is movies. Throughout his career, Tom has worked with the greatest. Throughout his career, Tom has worked with the greatest directors alive: Francis Ford Coppola, Mr. Steven Spielberg, Michael Mann, Martin Scorsese, Brian De Palma, Ridley Scott, and many, many others. He's bridged generations. Audiences who first met him in the 80s brought their children and now their grandchildren to watch him fly again. He's remained a constant in our collective imagination, not by following fashions, but by setting standards. In a world of shortcuts, he takes the long way. In the era of quick cuts, he chooses endurance. He has resisted being swallowed by brands, social media, streaming, pixels, and endless soulless exposure, and by doing that, he kept the mystery and mystique needed to be the biggest film star in the world. Everyone who has worked with him Everyone here who has worked with him tells a version of the same story. He thanks you every morning. He expects excellence and gives you courage to match it, and he knows your name. Tom Cruise has done what only the rarest artists ever do. He's built not just a career, but a continuum. He's made excellence his habit, gratitude his practice, and ambition his fuel. He reminds us that cinema is still a craft worth mastering, that movement can be poetry, and that belief in self, in a story, in others, is still the most powerful special effect of all. This may be the first Oscar and his first Oscar, but for what I have seen and experienced, it will not be the last. If you stand, if you stand next to him, you know that you start to wonder if the rest of us belong to a completely different, rapidly decaying species. At his rate, he easily has another 60 years of careers and award ahead of him. We will not be here, but you will be here. So tonight, we celebrate not just a filmography, we celebrate a lifetime of purpose. Tom, thank you for proving that the impossible, when pursued with heart and precision, can indeed become inevitable. And here's to the man who never stopped running toward the next story and made us all believe that we could keep up. Tom, it's my honor to present you with this Governor Award.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you so much. It really means a great deal to me that you're here, my friend. You know, we all saw Amores Perros 25 years ago. It's like, I have seen every one of your films since then. I mean, you are extraordinary. Your work is beautiful, it's truthful, it's so very human. You always strive for excellence. And to have been able to make that film with you has just been one of the great privileges of my career. And thank you. Thank you so much. Can't wait for you all to see the film next year and see what he did, you know. I really want to take a moment. I want to acknowledge my fellow honorees, you know, Wynn, Thomas. Sir, you began your career in New York theater and carried that eye for truth into cinema. Now, I didn't tell you this. I watched She's Gotta Have It, you know, first film you made with Spike Lee, in New York City at the Bleecker Street Theater, August 8th, 1986, I was at the very first showing of that film. And it marked an exceptional chapter in cinema. And what a career, sir. And you are a landmark production designer whose work defined the look, the feeling of films that have shaped American culture and elevated the craft for all of us. And you're an inspiration. Thank you. Dolly Parton, I mean, an American original, legendary singer, songwriter, actress, storyteller, and humanitarian. And your performances, your songs, your work, your soul, I mean, you're a part of the very fabric of all of our lives. And you show that compassion and creativity are not separate, that they are the same burning light. Thank you. Debbie Allen, queen. You're a queen. And your impact on our industry and this world it's profound, what you've done. And you are more than a dancer, you are more than an actor, a choreographer, a director, a producer. You are a once-in-a-lifetime force of kindness and artistic expression. And you open the door for countless young artists to find their voice, their discipline, and fulfill their dreams. And you have lifted generations through your example, your excellence, and your heart. You are the very personification of the words your extraordinary mother, Vivian Ayres, wrote: to be brave, be beautiful, and be free. I love you. We all love you. It is a privilege to share this evening with all of you. And to everyone in this room, I mean, you should see what y'all look like from here. What a room. I mean, my God, it's just incredible. The studios, you know, the agencies, the artists, the storytellers. I thank you. You know, I see all of your all's work, and believe me, you inspire me, you challenge me, and you expand, in my mind, what I think is possible. And you're all my friends. And it's an honor to be here with you all tonight. So thank you. And I want to thank the Academy Board of Governors for inviting me this evening and for this honor. You know, I am truly grateful to have this moment, so it allows me to acknowledge all the people who have helped me, all the people that I have been fortunate enough to create these films with, because every step of the way, this whole journey has been shared. And my love for cinema began when I, at a very early age, I mean, as early as I can remember, I was this little kid in this darkened theater, and I remember that beam of light, it just cut across the room, and I remember looking up, and it seemed to me that it just exploded on the screen. And suddenly the world was so much larger than the one that I knew. You know, entire cultures and lives and landscapes, and all of it was just unfolding in front of me. And it sparked something in me. It sparked a hunger for adventure, a hunger for knowledge, a hunger to understand humanity, to create characters, to tell a story, to see the world. And it opened my eyes. It opened my imagination to the possibility that life could expand far beyond the boundaries that I then perceived in my own life. And that beam of light opened a desire in me. It opened the world to me. And I have been following it ever since. I remember being a little kid, I worked every job I could to earn the price of admission. You know, and when I didn't have enough, you know, I just figured out a damn other way to get in that theater, you know? So cinema, it takes me around the world. And it helps me to appreciate and respect differences. It shows me also our shared humanity, how alike we are in so many ways. And no matter where we come from, in that theater, we laugh together, we feel together, we hope together, we dream together. And that is the power of this art form. And that is why it matters. That is why it matters to me. So making films is not what I do, it is who I am. And I also appreciate and I respect and understand that cinema is not built by one person, not a single performance, not a single voice. It is built by communities, by craftsmen, by artists, and who pass that knowledge hand to hand, set to set, generation to generation. And I have learned from extraordinary directors. I have learned from extraordinary writers and actors and cinematographers and editors and designers and stunt teams, film crews, all of you who have built worlds from your imagination. And I've learned from the talent agencies. I thank you. And I've learned from the theater owners and exhibitors. And all of you, everyone here, make it possible for audiences to gather in the dark and experience something together. And I've learned from the audiences themselves, because without you, none of this has meaning for me. So this evening, I cannot name all of those names, who shared and shaped my life, my work, who have given me this opportunity to have, this amazing adventure, who've opened doors and allowed me to understand more about this art form, and who have allowed me to understand more about life. And I would never attempt to, because look, I'd surely leave someone out. But to all of those legends, known and unknown, who inspired and paved the way before me, and to all of those legends, known and unknown, that I have had the privilege to work with, that I've stood together with in the studios and the writers' rooms and all those sets and all those editing rooms and mixing stages and red carpets and every theater around the world. And I ask that if you worked with me, would you mind standing up right now? Do me a favor. Would you all stand up for a second, please? Kevin, Houvain, get up, guys, come on. All of you, the studios, everybody, please. All of you. Please. All of you. I want to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I want you to know, and please know, that I carry you with me, each of you, and you are part of every frame of every film I have ever made or ever will make. And I want you to know that I will always do everything I can to help this art form, to support and champion new voices, to protect what makes cinema powerful, and hopefully without too many more broken bones. That would be nice. And I promise to do what I can, to maybe, inspire that next kid who might be working their ass off right now to buy that admission or figure out some other damn way to get in that theater. So thank you all very much for this honor. I'm deeply grateful. Good night. Thank you.